Welcome to Edged Mindset. We've got a really cool video for you today. Thank you for joining me. As I always say, I've said this 100 times. I couldn't do it without you, and I wouldn't want to anyways. Thanks for joining me on this video. We're looking at a very cool knife. Now, for you real ones that watch my content, you probably saw recently that I unboxed a QD Scarab. Okay, what is a QD Scarab? A QD Scarab is kind of the OG style Scarab. And then you have the Scarab 2. I mean, this is a Scarab 2 Gen 3, but the Scarab 2 is very similar to this. So the QD Scarab, which stands for Quick Deployment, is the original Scarab. So some of you may know what this is. So I unboxed the QD Scarab from like 2014, 2015, did a couple pieces of content, and then I quickly told everybody that I was going to sell it. And I had some people say, why would you sell it? That's such a cool piece. I also did some content on buying and selling knives and things like that. The reason I sold it so fast is because this baby popped up. And I can't have both. And so I chose this one. This is a Vero Beach era Microtech. And you may say, why does it matter the location of the factory? Well, that's up for debate. A lot of people consider these as the best Microtechs ever made, and that once they moved from their Vero Beach location, their quality kind of went downhill. I'm not completely convinced on that, but maybe I could be. Maybe I could be. So we're going to take a look at this thing. Serial number 839. How cool. I mean, that may seem like a high number, but when you think about Microtech and how long they've been around, that's a very, very low number. And it comes in this tube. Like they come in these kind of industrial tubes like you would get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Here's all the original documentation. It's got the warranty. Here is their mailing address in Vero Beach, Florida, with the registration card. Just cool stuff. Like this is back in, this is back in the heyday of Microtech. You know, back when they were really just tearing it up. You know, like just doing an awesome job, making a name for themselves. We've got the operation maintenance manual. You don't get these anymore. Like you don't get knives with full manuals anymore. How freaking cool is it to see this? And look at the condition of this thing. It is pristine. Tells you all the information about what it is. I can actually read this. The QD Scarab is designed to be thrown and should not be used for that purpose. Is not designed to be thrown. I forgot the not. I was like, wait a minute, what? What did I just uncover here? It's got all the specs on here, overall length, all the information that you can now get online. They included with the knife itself on physical paper. For you young guys, that may seem like an insane idea, but there was a time when this is how you had to do it. This is cool. We're going to talk about this here in a minute. This is a field sharpener. It comes with a field sharpener, which is pretty cool. Here's all the parts list. So freaking neat. This is the second Vero Beach Scarab that I've owned. The first one was arguably a little bit cooler than this one, quite a bit cooler than this one, but way more expensive, and I just couldn't afford to keep it. We've got the pouch here with the Scarab logo on there, and here we have the knife. This is the sharpener that it came with. You can see right there. Ooh, has it been used? It looks like somebody may have actually sharpened something, or maybe that's just discoloration down at the bottom there from being old, because this knife definitely has not been sharpened. And then this is a tool, if I can get it out here, that I believe allows you to remove the glass breaker and some other stuff. So we've got, what do we have here? We've got a punch, we've got a Torx bit right there, and then yeah, you would use this to remove the glass breaker, I believe, and then maybe put the sharpener through here. I'm not sure. I swear the other Vero Beach I had did not have this tool. It didn't have a Torx bit on it. Let's take a look at the knife. This is what everybody wants to see, because that is kind of interesting, because you can tell there is no, oh, there is. So there's one Torx screw, which is the second screw going through the pocket clip, and that is it. Because I was going to say there's no other Torxes on here. You can see this has the proprietary 3-hole screws. After this, on that other QD Scarab that I showed, that's when they went to the domed 3-hole screw. Let's fire it. These suckers are always stiff. There she is. I want to take another look at this tool here. So you got this punch. This tool, I think, is only for switching the pocket clip, right? It's not a full disassembly tool. They didn't want you taking the whole thing apart. This is just so you can switch this pocket clip. So you'd put this in through that hole, spin it, and then use this to remove that screw. And I don't know exactly what that big hole is for. Usually you would put something through that and you'd use this to kind of spin, but I don't know, kind of interesting. Let's take a look at the knife here. This thing is pristine. It's kind of an interesting configuration because it's got kind of this muted Cerakote green on the bevels there. This one's an S30V QD Scarab from 2003, firmly in the Vero Beach era, number 839. So freaking cool. These things are so cool to collect. And it's amazing how good a condition this is in. And I also find it interesting, going on a tangent here, when you're talking about kind of vintage Microtechs, you see a lot of Scarabs in really good condition. I mean, comparatively. I'm not saying they're everywhere. I'm just saying you see them around here or there. But you don't see as many like Gen 1 combat Trodons or Trodons or, you know, a lot of those older models. Now, I don't know if the Trodon was ever produced in Vero Beach, but even just the earliest Gen 1s, you don't see them pop up for sale, and which is interesting. I guess they weren't as collectible. I don't know, something about the Scarabs, more people seem to keep them in really good condition and hold on to them, whereas the Trodons, I mean, they're gone. Like, you hardly ever see like a Gen 1 floating around. I know the fake market, the clone market, kind of destroyed those because the Trodon was heavily cloned and, you know, pretty accurately cloned for the time that they came out. And it did kind of sour the taste of them maybe. So I don't know. It's just kind of a thought here that I find interesting. It's just so cool to see this stuff. Like this glass breaker here, no ceramic ball in there. It's just a steel glass breaker taking the place of one of the screws. You've got the Scarab laser engraved on the pocket clip. This thing is just fantastic. And, you know, blade play is minimal, but I would say it's comparable to most that you're going to come across even now, modern. I mean, this might have a little bit more, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's louder. No? I say it's the same. So I don't know. You know, anybody that can chime in on the concept of the Vero Beaches being that much superior in terms of quality, please let me know. Because I've just handled a few, and I haven't overtly. Sometimes I can close this one with one hand, sometimes I can't. These Scarabs are just super stiff. Even the button, you know, it's got some movement. You know, all of the telltale sounds and things people complain about on modern Microtechs, it's all present here. I mean, this thing is very cleanly done, but so are modern ones. So this has the old school kind of grip tape, right? Like skateboard grip tape compared to the modern ones, which have a more rubberized type grip tape, like a 3M kind of hard rubber vulcanized type finish. So not as grippy on this one, but it's got a cool kind of feel to it. Whereas this one's more like a, you know, do your nails, shave down your fingers kind of thing. I really like the flat 3-hole screws. Those are slick. Very, very cool. Let's see. Woo! I'm going to try it without a glove on. I was trying to keep it from getting... People ask why I wear gloves. There's a couple different reasons why I do. One of them is when I'm showing black things like this in front of a light, my sweaty hands, you know, like my hands aren't super sweaty, but it doesn't take much for it to pick up. You know, it just gets all over. You can see how it's all even wet right there. Granted, come on. Couldn't do it. I did it the other day. When I got this in and I was checking it out, I was able to open and close one-handed. I promise. I am not lying. These things are just insanely stiff. The springs on these things. It's kind of what they were known for back in the day. But very cool. Very, very cool knife. This is why I sold that other one, because to me, this one just, I don't know, has more history. It looks cooler. It's also in better condition. I got this for an amazing price. Got it at an auction on the Ancient City Continental on Facebook. And really, really appreciative. If you're watching this video, the guy that sold this to me, I'm not going to name his name. I don't know if he wants to be called out. Thank you so much. This is so, so cool. 2003, so cool. What do you guys think of this QD Scarab? Would you collect something like this? Comment down below. Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later.